Hi folks, it's Saturday afternoon, the 28th of October, and I'm just going to hawk here a little bit my 9 Steps to a Better Life book, okay? I've been putting it up for ads in different places. There's a lot of things we need to do in life to figure out what we're doing. There's a lot of stuff I've learned by being an old guy and gone through a lot of crap. So they're kind of suggested in here. By the way, I'm heading to New Jersey tomorrow. I often say to my people in groups and that too, that you got to realize depending upon where you live, what you've done, understanding attitude, whatever. Jersey, we tend to be like New Yorkers, a little more loud. I have a t-shirt that says, I'm not angry, I'm from New Jersey. And boy, is that true. People have different ways of dealing with things. But quickly, if you get really bored, it's available on Amazon. I'll try to put a link in the thing here for it. But the different chapters that I talk about to me are important. I say that I've learned over time. One is become your own parent, your own healthy parent. Sometimes we have to decide what to do and we have to think inside our head. A lot of times we have somebody that was important in our lives and we think, what would Grandma have said? What would Aunt Lil have said? For me, it was my mother-in-law, Muff. She was pretty good, and my former partner. Okay, second would be to respect yourself. We have boundaries. You have boundaries. I have boundaries. That's why the little white line on the freeway, that's a boundary. And we have to respect that for ourselves, though, too. So you have to make sure people don't do too much to you. And I'll talk about the rest of this stuff chapter by chapter later in another setting. Follow your passions. If you're not doing something that you're passionate with in a career, not so great. I always talk to people about the difference between a career and a job. Jobs are what pay the bills and get you through things. Career is what you enjoy doing. I enjoy what I'm doing. I'm old. I should have been dead a couple of years ago, probably. But I still enjoy teaching at the university. I still enjoy working with my programs at the office. Know your dreams. What would you really like to do? Versus what your family tells you you have to do, what your culture tells you you have to do. This is why a lot of people leave home in Kansas and come to LA to go into acting because the family's like, why don't you do a real job? Define your own success. Okay, not everybody needs to have a PhD, an MD, a DDS. Some people are perfectly happy to be creative artists. In Europe, it's still acceptable to be an artiste and not have to be, have a college degree. But that's my issue to talk about. Set your own goals, what you think is right, not always what the family tells you you have to do or what culture says you should do. Manage your life gracefully. There's times when you need to step back and say, you know what, there's a difference between being right and dead right. And there's times when you need to say to people, you know what, I'm done, I'm moving on. Or sometimes you don't have to say anything to somebody. If there's someone annoying the crap out of you, just don't hang out with them anymore. Maybe they'll figure it out and maybe they won't. But do it with some dignity and humility, which we'll talk about in a second. And chapter 8 is humility can be cool. And learning how to say to somebody, I'm sorry it went that way, and mean it. Not because you're the flight attendant at the end of the trip or something, but because you really do mean that, I think maybe we did the wrong thing, or I said the wrong thing, or have a good afternoon, but do it nicely. I'm impressed having an office in Beverly Hills and doing what I do, but I don't have to be arrogant about it and tell everybody around the world that I'm better than you because I'm practicing in Beverly Hills, not in Fillmore, California. And finally, one of the big things, don't be part of the pre-dead. So many people retire and do whatever early and say, you know what, I'm moving to Palm Springs. And those of you who live in Palm Springs, I'm sorry, a lot of people love it there, don't get me wrong, or Florida or whatever, where you go to retire. I mean, if you're going to retire, keep doing things. That to me is very important. I have a thing that I can't find right now, so I can't show it to you, but it talks about as long as I've got things to do, it doesn't mean just because you're old you stop doing things. Keep doing things and it'll usually keep you from getting as old. Okay? Thank you. Bye.